Hey people, it's me and two randos, and today what we gonna talk about? Obviously, everybody's
Well, I
picture.
feel like my jaw hurting a little bit. I don't know why.
Yeah, your jaw would be hurting because you're out of space. You got no gravity there. It should be a little bit lighter for you, but that's fine. But you could see by the pictures in the background, we gonna talk about Jake Paul. We gonna talk about that fight, and we also gonna talk about the Dave Chappelle special that dropped right
I'm
after the
rich.
which which should have sped up this fight, but I'm going to tell you that in the
Yeah,
first
we
commentary.
wanted
All
the fight to end faster for the
right.
Chappelle special to
So who
start
wants to
early.
start? We going around. We going around. We spinning the magic wheel. Okay, I'll
uh,
start. All right. Guess what? There was only three fights on this card.
mhm,
It was Woodley versus Silva,
mhm.
right? It was Baumgard versus the Canadian girl. I'm sorry, I messed it up. It was Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Why
Yeah.
is this event 4 hours? This
Mhm.
event is not even sanctioned. And what made it worse,
No,
people?
I think it was sanctioned.
No, it wasn't sanctioned. They have Florida rules, whatever that Florida rule business was.
Florida.
And then, let me tell you something. They did a little sneaky thing. While I was watching this live, which I wasn't going to watch because I know Jake Paul, it doesn't say WWE or AEW on it, but I know Jake Paul is about wrestling and boxing, right? But here's my problem. Dave Chappelle came on and said, "Oh, my special is going to drop."
Yeah,
3 hours, about 3 hours into the show, he said his special's going to drop.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Especially when it
okay,
dropped after the fight.
I'm going to stay up for his special. It's going to drop right after this thing goes off the air.
Hmm.
This is where Jake Paul need to be like wrestling. I know they try to make it look all professional, and there was a professional championship fight there with Baumgartner, a female fighter. She was doing good, man.
Hmm.
She looked like little female Floyd Mayweather. She was punching
Mhm.
and doing that stuff. But once I heard that Dave Chappelle was going to drop, we need to start fixing some of these matches in the first place. This shit should have been 2 hours. It should have dropped right there. First round knockout. All right. But let's get to the real stuff.
First round.
This guy is a two-time champion, two-time Olympian. He looks, he said it himself, like a Greek god,
Like
or
a Greek god, he said it
let's
himself.
say like an African statue, because he got some Sierra Leone roots,
Hmm.
right? But let's say that. And then you got this WWE wannabe character, which his brother is a better WWE wrestler and character than he is in boxing. But okay, I'm gonna take the Anthony Joshua approach. I respect this guy's gangster because he's making money, and
Hmm.
I wouldn't have paid to watch him. But guess what? I had to watch him because he is interesting. He's what people want to see. He need to go to WWE. That's what he need to do. Anyway, this boxer should have knocked him out in the first round. Talking about he had cobwebs on. He didn't have no damn cobwebs. He had obligations. This guy got tired in the middle of the match. You don't even have to watch the match. It's like
He
me
was
trying to
running
run.
around a lot. I
Yeah.
said that in the beginning. When he came out, his arms were down, and he was running and running and running and running and like even Layla Ali said, Anthony Joshua has to practice how to cut him off in the ring instead of chasing after him around and around the ring. And I'm like, and then when Jake started the falling and the dropping and stuff, the announcer was like, "What is going on?" The announcers was pissed, like, "This is crap. We didn't pay for this crap. What good?" I was like,
And then
"Yo,
the ref,
these
the
announcers are
referee
bad
was
as
like,
shit."
the referee had to hold him. Yo, what's
Yeah.
all this falling down? What's all this
Hmm.
thing? But see, real training in boxing, they would have fell down. Other boxers would have fell down too. But they practice hugging. Remember when we used to watch heavyweight fights? They be hugging. You're like, yo, get the hell
That's
off of
because
me, bro.
yeah. Most heavyweight fight. I used to really prefer the lighter weights
Hmm. The
Yeah.
because
defensive,
the heavyweight fight, everybody was
like,
just like you're like punch punch. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. I love you, brother. Uh,
And rest. And then they get a little body shot in there, the kidneys
I love you, brother, again. Yeah.
and stuff like that. Um, but listen, the fight was for what it was.
hmm.
He was tired. He wasn't. His legs wasn't ready. I admire that he stayed up and he was moving around. But when he got tired, he just dropped.
Yeah,
He was
his
tired. His
cardio,
legs were
because
tired.
he even said that he changed his fight training once the fight switched from Tank to to AJ. he switched because when he was fighting Tank, he was using more cardio, and now then when he switched to AJ, he said he's doing more weightlifting to build muscle to fight him. So completely different fighting style. That's a whole other thing. I don't think they should be giving like switching up their opponent in such short notice. Woodley said it when after his fight. He goes, "Stop picking me with 3 weeks out. I want a real fight that I can train for and prep for it."
But that's why you know it's not real. That's why you know it's exhibition. Because if it was real, people wouldn't be signing up for that thing. Nobody going into a fight where they could actually get some real head. A matter of fact, Logan, not this is Jake Paul. I was about to say Logan Paul. Jake, yo, just put on the helmet back, man. Put the helmet back on. You know what I'm saying? But I do have a couple of roles for you, Jake Paul, if you were listening. You could definitely play a Viking. I saw the beard. I saw the tongue out. We could play. We could get you down as a psycho killer.
Right now, his tongue has no choice but to be out.
Broken. But he kept sticking his tongue out during the fight.
He kept sticking his tongue out during the match. And then poor Athiny Joshua said, "Oh, you want to stick your tongue out?" He's sticking. No, I'm like, no, you go in there for the jugular. But I understand. He got paid more than. The funny part is, Athiny Joshua got paid the biggest purse more than he got paid when he was doing the professional fighting in a sanctioned bout.
But like, why? What is Jake Paul just looking to get his? Well, he got his jaw broken, so yeah, he achieved it. Was that like his goal? Because
no,
like he been picking some beasts to fight.
He got three good punches in this match.
That many?
And that last punch, I think, is the one that broke his jaw. If you
you have to see the close-up picture of that punch. Like his jaw is like way out here.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, did he pick Beast? I thought Tyson could have knocked him out. I thought that would have been a better story.
So to go to that
don't believe that. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the way how that Tyson fight was how when the first fight with Tyrone Woodley and Anderson Silva threw 5 punches in the first round. And I was like, and people even started booing. And I'm like, yo, I don't want this to be another Mike Tyson thing. Yeah, Anderson is 50, but this guy was the best in UFC. They even announced all of that stuff. But then in the second round, when Anderson Silva actually started fighting, I was like, this is what Tyson was supposed to do. And I'm yelling this, like, come on, man. But it was good.
You're sharing your screen?
Yeah. Yes, that's the knockout.
That's the last punch.
Dude.
But it was better on TV.
Just looking at this hurts my soul. Like, look at the man jaw.
But here's the thing. You see when this guy got that punch, I wanted to see Dave Chappelle so bad. Because I'm like,
you had your priorities right.
No, listen, I was falling asleep. Pull up what that other female name. I feel bad. Pull up what that other female name is. I know Bumgarner was the first one, and the other one was Canadian. Now you see that fight, Oracle, and what Oracle missed. Let me show you this. Let me show you some of these jabs right here. You seen some of it? You seen that? You seen that movement? You seen that movement, man?
Yeah,
Bumgarner was doing.
You didn't tell me you was doing some training, Jay.
Yeah, no, but you see, my
Layla Beaudoin.
Layla Beaudoin. Now let me tell you something about that Layla. I don't know how boxing is.
Jay doesn't really even care what her name is. He's like,
her name is French. It's Beau, Beau, and then Doin.
Hey, listen, everybody knows I need the Hooked on Phonics if you saw the episode before. I love female sports. But let me tell you something. 2 things about that match. That was the highlight.
Oh, I thought you were going to share the picture, Jay.
No, the highlight of the card. No, SS could pull up a picture, send it to me or whatever, or show. Highlight of this match. First of all, the referee. He looked like he could throw some punches. That's the woman that when you get in the kitchen, yo, what you meant? Why you around the oven? Why you around the pot? Get the hell out of my kitchen. This referee looked like she could throw down. That's one. And Layla, I know it's Canada. I ain't this Canada. I love Canada. You know, because they speak Canadian. Anybody who knows what I'm saying. However,
they speak Canadian.
This lady right here, Yeah, there she go, Layla. She was doing a lot of rabbit punching, a lot of little dirty tricks.
Can you guys still see it?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay.
She was doing a lot of dirty tricks in that match. She should have been throwing punches earlier in that match, but then we found out, at least for Alicia Baumgartner, that this was her first match in 3-minute rounds. These girls was throwing down. Now, they weren't doing the power punches, but to Oracle's thing, they were like light heavyweights. They would boop, 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 boop. But you see this Layla lady? Oh my God, some of the most Bush League boxing I love. She had the rabbit. She hit her twice in the back of the head. The referee was like, yo, cut it out. The referee was like, yo, one more time, I'm going to hit you. Do it the right way. Actually, the referees in this card, at least for two of them, is the most boldest referees I ever seen in my life. The referees was better part of the show. You talk about WWE, these referees right here was good. I forgot that lady's name. We should find that out. But I forgot that female referee's name. She was good. Big Mama was like, "Yo, we gonna watch. Don't let me tell you again." Then we had this little scrawny black guy as a man. He just looked a little scrawny in the Jake Paul, because Jake Paul is like, he don't even look like a monster, but he's 6'1" and 240, and this guy was like 6'6" and another two. They were two monsters, and this little referee was like, what's going on? And when he saw the bullshit happening in the ring, I never seen it before. Referee grabbed both of them. Yo, shit. They didn't pay to see nobody dropping. So
the referee said that in the middle of the fight. They didn't pay for this.
I thought he said he didn't whisper it either.
Yeah, it was loud. You could hear everything.
But to be fair, in the Alicia and Layla, that was exactly the opposite, because in their fight, that referee could take out I'm sure that referee in their fight could have taken out Jake Paul.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Oh shit!" You know what? I always don't like to bring up Madea, Tyler Perry's Madea, but that other referee, if she even had sniffed the jab from Jake, what? Oh, so you want to fight? And the earrings was already off. They'd be like, "Yo, I don't even." Because and she had the good moisturizer. You know, the good one. Now all the ladies know the good moisturizer. You don't need the Vaseline up when you got the good moisturizer. She would have just went, whoop, boom, boom. Let me show you something. Let me show you. And then all of a sudden, you would have heard she was the first participant in the Golden Gloves against the men for the female. You know what I'm saying? That's what you would have heard. But this is not going again. This is actually showing the women was the best fighters on the card. Probably the reason why, to be honest, the truth is, those two women were the only real boxers. Because anybody who doesn't know Anderson Silva, MMA.
Woodley was also MMA.
Woodley has a boxing background, but he's more MMA than boxing, right? This guy is a promoter, is a guy playing a boxer. They said he only had like 12 or 14 fights. That's not enough fights to get in the ring with this guy, who's an Olympian.
Not just an Olympian, a gold medalist Olympian.
He's a gold medalist Olympian. So you know what? That means he had to beat some trifling people. You know how hard it is to get to a gold medal team? A lot of people don't know this about the Olympics. But it's hard to qualify for that shit.
It's hard to qualify for the Olympics.
Stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been trying to qualify for the medium Olympics.
Jay, you been trying to qualify for the medium Olympics? What?
I'm trying to qualify for the medium Olympics.
I'm curious to know who you've been talking to who debated whether or not it was easy to become Olympian.
Because some of our fans out there don't know the real hustle that these Olympic guys got.
That's true. Jay, I agree with you on that, because a lot of people, when they say that, when they hear that he's a gold medal Olympian, they're like, so what's the Olympics? He's not the world champion. It's like, you know how hard it is to get there?
Whoever doesn't know how hard it is to get into the Olympic needs to watch Cool Runnings.
Speaking of which, you talk about Cool Runnings, yo. You know, Team Jamaica on the bobsled team. No snow, nothing but rubble and dust. Won a gold medal the other day. So, by the way, big up.
You forgot. Sanka, you dead?
Yeah, man. Because speaking of which, people, My T-shirt says, "Oh, look at that! I got lost due to inflation. This is my ugly sweater, right?" So I feel like Sanko because I got a sweater and I got a T-shirt, and I probably would have had my whole suitcase on. What's amazing about that was that he could fit all the clothes on in that thing. You know, hey, when you cold, you're like, "Yo, I put on all my clothes." He just saw the snow, but anyway, Olympics is very hard to make. When you see Simone Biles up there, don't just look at it as, oh, she's up there, she's there, she's that. No, she had to beat a lot of people. She had to beat ankle sprains. You know how hard it is? Ankle sprains ain't nothing to play with. Quoting Drake. That was a good line. I played with an ankle sprain my whole life. So you know that.
Jay reasoned that ankle sprains in the same class as Wu-Tang.
Yep. So this guy's an Olympian.
Nothing to F with.
Olympians mean they're not to be fucked with. He's an Olympian.
But
he had to beat other great people from other great countries.
I have a question. What weight class was Alicia and Layla in?
Alicia and Layla that's a good question. She a 6-time. I would say they were in light, not featherweight. Hold on, let me see.
Super featherweight.
They were featherweights.
Super.
I have a question. Super featherweight?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, dude, can you imagine?
Which is about
so first of all, yeah. First of all, like that's the category what I think the best boxing matches are in. Like the ones that really look like they're thumping at each other. Like it happens in like those weight categories, in my opinion. But like, did they look featherweight to you?
No, well, Layla, she looked like she had a little bulk. But see, this is what we talk about weight. You see, I'm big boned. I'm not fat. I've been telling people that for years. When you look at this, body, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about. You see these trapezoids? Boy, these shits can fool people.
This tells me that you're triangular.
Yeah. Until you see this thing that this don't even have no beer in it. It barely got cookies in it. It barely got groceries in it.
For those of you who have never met Jay, that's just so much muscle packed on top of each other that the muscles have muscles, so that's why he looks a little round. But like, yeah, he's all muscle, man.
Let me tell you, only in America you can get round and be broke. You can't afford groceries. Which brings me up to the oldest point in the book, Oracle. Oracle, we got to go back in time. We're going back. We're going back. We're going back, Oracle. To 1990. The Home Alone. The Home Alone was watching it the other day, sitting down, enjoying a Christmas memory. And in the middle of this Christmas memory, there was a kid named Kevin McAllister. Who went to the supermarket. Whoa, in 1990. And remember, his house, now they would have said he was in the 1% side of the house. Listen, he went to the grocery store by himself. First red flag. Second red flag is how old I got when the cashier rang up the groceries and said 1983.
1980 for all those groceries.
He had a tie. He had a bottle of Tide on the counter. He had big version of Wonder Bread. He had a TV dinner. He bought a gallon of milk.
That's like what now? $600, $700?
Wait, hold on. And on top of that, he bought some toy soldiers. And we ain't talking about Eminem's toy soldiers.
And that wasn't even at the Walmart, right? That wasn't even at the Walmart.
He wasn't at the Walmart. He was at a mom and pop grocery store, which today
is premium. That's premium shopping.
But the price was $19.83.
Dude, do you remember once upon a time when like when you went to the supermarket and when you got the amount you had to pay, it sounded like the person was telling you the year?
That's exactly what we're talking about.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what we see. This Oracle. Wait, hold
1983.
on, people. Let's rewind Oracle because he's like, Let me go rewind you, Oracle. The whole thing is 1983.
Mm.
I was flabbergasted because I know the Tide by itself is between $15 and between like
Where are you buying
10,
your Tide?
10 to 15 for that. No, for that size bottle. Because that was the 80 load bottle or the
No,
128.
no, that's what I mean. Where you buying your Tide? Dude, smaller
No, no,
bottles of Tide now cost like $56. Where are you buying your
exactly.
Tide?
So adjusting
That's for
his
the
thing
small
for growth,
bottles like
adjusting
this.
adjusting for what Kevin paid in that show, it would have been approximately about $53,
Yeah,
which is
because
like 127% more.
so to break it down a little bit more, this week Jay and I watched Home Alone, so that's why everything is fresh. And when that came up, that is the bill was 1983, we freaked out like, what the shit? That's when the Tide conversation came up, and then Jay literally looked up what would the price be in today's date, and there's an actual article online that was written a couple hours before we watched it.
Yeah.
And we were like, what is the odds on this? They wrote a whole news article on how much he paid for this thing.
And
Because
apparently it has gone viral previous years, but we
yeah.
didn't notice it. But I noticed the supermarket bill because I should be skinny now. Because sometimes I see some of them prices. And another thing, remember, it's 1990, so he probably got the concentrated Tide, the one where you can't you can't even see through the
See.
soap. So that's when
the one that's actually all soap instead of water,
instead of
down
water
soap.
and thin, and it was, and that one you didn't have no alert allergies to it. Now they make all kinds of models. They make the smelly flowers. I don't want nothing in my Tide. I need the old fashioned cheap version of Tide.
So I'm looking up what detergent you can buy for the price of the entire purchase in Home Alone. And you can buy a bottle of like stain remover from Tide for that price. Little bottle this big.
Mhm.
A bottle of stain remover this big. Inflation.
Yeah, it's the tariffs.
Do we import Tide? Where does Tide come from? Like I assume because it's
I think,
from
isn't it
it's an
Johnson and
American
Johnson?
company.
Yeah.
Wait, is it Johnson and Johnson or Procter and
I
Gamble? I know one
one
of
of
these
those
people.
and companies, the ampersand companies.
Yeah, one of the companies have a big ampersand in it, own it. But like, I thought they were American companies. How would that cost?
Yeah,
Like,
it's made in the plants in Ohio and
yeah,
St.
Hey,
Louis.
listen. Everybody need to get paid. But I'm just saying the price was the whole thing was it forced me to pause the show
Mhm.
because the price was so low. I'm like, wait, he was walking around with $20 and he bought all of that. $20.
That he stole from Buzz's room.
Let me tell you. Remember a few months ago, you could barely buy eggs, bread, a breakfast package.
Mhm.
Some of them clothes would have had to be hand washed with the queso. Those in the Caribbean know what I'm talking about. Hand wash it with the blue soap. And that was another real soap. You ever seen that soap, Oracle? That blue soap? That
yeah.
shit never started. That shit hardly fade. That shit gonna last you 2 months, and you watch everybody's
Listen. I think when I was 4 years old, I used that, and I think the bar's still going. Um, I think it's still in my
that
house.
that bar was inflation proof, survival proof.
Yeah, you buy 1 bar of soap. You go to the supermarket, you buy all kinds of stuff. You buy 1 bar of soap. The whole family use it, and like 6 years later, you're like, shoot, I need more soap.
Yeah, that thing was some. You could even almost leave that shit soaking in the water, and that shit would not
Do you
fade.
remember those old Dial soap, like the the bar that you could
The
kind
yellow
of
one,
see
the
through,
one
but
with
not quite. Yeah,
yeah, the yellow one.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, you used to see those things like you would you. I remember like we used to buy those to put inside the bathroom that we have for like guests on the outside of the house.
Mhm.
And like we always used to have parties at our house, always. And that soap, I don't think I've ever seen us change that soap in the entire time I lived in that house.
Yeah.
That thing just used to last and last and last. No, I think bar
You are
soaps last
Jay?
like
yeah. I'm
no,
there.
Mhm.
he's just realizing that like
No,
now a whole bar of soap lasts
no,
one shower.
Well, you know what it is, right? And this brings up another topic that
Shrinkflation.
we didn't even think we were supposed to discuss, right? But there's shrink betterflation. When Dow came out,
Mhm.
Dow didn't weather. It was a medical soap too, antibacterial. You could turn the water on and drench that sucker. It's not melting. Now you get some soaps. Don't even let water be in the soap tray. That shit is
It's
melting
gonna
it
every.
just
disintegrate.
becomes
Yeah.
it just
That shit
becomes
is melting every day.
yeah, you like
Mhm.
you used to have to struggle to get like your hands sudden because the soap was just so
And
but
even even the liquid soaps and the pump soaps. Yo, in the 80s they used to
dude, back in
sell
those
they used
days
to
they
make you
didn't used
feel
to have
good.
liquid soap. The first time I saw liquid soap was here in the United States. Now that I think about it.
Yo, and then when we saw it, everybody tried to get it. And that's another waste of money. Just like shampoo. You see, I've been I look, Velveteen Sassoon, baby. What was it? Sassoon from the
Vidal
women?
Sassoon. Velveeta. Did
Velveteen
you just say Velveeta
the women was
Sassoon?
like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. I rinsed, I washed, I repeated. I didn't get no look at it, look what I got.
Mhm.
Ballpark. Look, see the
You
lab
didn't
lighting?
hold on. You didn't get the lustrous hair
No, they
from
weren't no
Vidal
lustrous hair.
Sassoon.
There was no herbal,
It wasn't
Herbal
lustrous
essence.
hair in the bottle.
herbal essence. Let me tell you, all those products, what they gave you was a great ass commercial.
Mhm.
Like, yo, I was
Yeah.
over here, and let me tell you, them old
I,
people, God rest my own soul, but them old people, they would know about inflation and say, yo, what you talking about? You soaked your head, you washed your hair 3 times and rinsed in the thing. That's what they want you to believe. One time is good. Just
Mhm.
frizz it up and wash. And
see,
head
you
and
know,
shoulders too. You know, head and shoulders. See, even head and shoulders. Head and shoulders is great. You had some
Mhm.
flakes. You put one drop of that thing that worked, but it worked too good. They can't sell enough bottles, so they got to lower the potency.
Mhm.
I
Dial did it. Your toothpaste did it. Listerine, everybody did it.
I blame these new prices on AI.
Oh, that's another subject too. So anybody out there, if you don't pay attention to the news, we're gonna give you a newsworthy thing because we talking about money here. We talking about money here. And whether you making 6 figures or 4 figures or 2 figures or maybe 1 figure
Two
when you look
figures? What
around.
is that person panhandling? Like this?
Listen.
Panhandlers is make a lot of money, yo.
Hey, listen. Here on me and two randos, we don't make fun about the hustle.
Mhm.
See,
I'm not making fun of the hustle.
even this guy, Anthony Joshua, even though he hustled people, talk about he knocked
Yo,
somebody out 6 rounds.
Jay, one of the things before I forgot to mention it, because Anthony Joshua, at the end of that fight, he literally stopped and took pictures with everybody in the crowd. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Why is this a thing? He stopped when I said everybody in the crowd, everybody he took pictures, just
Everybody took
paused,
pictures in front.
talked, did for the because again, we're waiting for the
Maybe he was
damn Dave
making fun
Chappelle
of the
special to
social
start.
media thing.
And we're just sitting watching this man just talking to everybody all the way out to the ring.
Listen.
Maybe he was trying to say, look, I can be a social media influencer too.
I'm not trying to say what his purse was because I don't know. But this guy right here, for the purse he was getting, I probably would have stopped and talked to everybody and wait for the pictures, have a little fun, because he know that boxing match wasn't. He didn't do nothing. He barely pull a sweat. The other thing I noticed about this boxing, going back to real quick before we go back to the hustle, you notice like nobody knew how to land a punch in these fights. I could
In which
remember
one?
all of them. I could remember
The
as
Alicia fight
Oracle
didn't
like
have
to say.
someone that knows how to punch?
No, they know how to punch. They weren't landing anywhere.
Oh,
It's like they were throwing so many
I don't
punches
know.
that it was far
That
away.
picture told me he got at least one
That
that
was
they
that,
landed
that was
pretty
literally
good.
at the end.
Yeah,
That was
no. So
literally
that just tells me at least one person knows how to land a punch.
like in that fight, he was just tired. But anyway,
Mhm.
we respect the hustles of the panhandle. And let me tell you about this thing since you said AI. Instacart, I love you. I use you a lot, especially when COVID happened. I don't go to the groceries, groceries come to me. But allegedly, there's different prices in the same store for different customers
Correct.
An Instacart?
in
Instacart. Yep.
Instacart. It was a big
Wow.
news story today. And let me tell you
This week.
something out there, people. I use Instacart. I better get more than 50 cents or $50 when the class action suit come down. Because that shit don't make no sense. Anyway, they using different prices. So for Oracle over here, we go into the same store. Let's call it Stop and Shop for the argument. And they charging him more.
Mhm.
And they might be charging me less, but I
And we
don't
buying
know.
the same damn pack of gum.
Same gum, same food, same thing. And it varies on time. Now, Instacart tried to use the Uber analogy, called it dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing. Listen to how dynamic it is. It's so dynamic, I gotta take my glasses
Oh
off.
gosh.
Because
Oh
guess what?
gosh.
The only dynamic price I want to hear, or the word with the D, is called discount. I need a Black Friday discount.
Now hold on.
Or
Hold
for the
on a
next for
second.
the rest of the year,
Hold on,
a
hold on.
Black Friday discount.
Hold on. Put the glasses back on really quick. Just put them on for a second. Yeah, okay, hold on. I have a question. What happens though if the dynamic pricing is causing you to save money? What happens if what it's doing is all the wealthy people who waste money on all kinds of things because they just in the bank, and then you who actually need to eat are getting a lower price? Would it be okay then?
So in the dynamic of who I am, I'm
Mm.
taking off my glasses because how I know I'm getting the cheaper price.
No,
Are
no,
you
that's fair.
telling?
That's
Are you
fair. That's
telling
fair.
me
No,
I'm getting
I'm
my?
not.
Are you telling
Hold
me
on,
I'm
hold
getting
on.
my gummy
No, no, no,
bears
no,
for
no, no.
25 cents less?
Before the glasses find its way all the way over here and like hit me in the back of the head. All I'm saying is, let's
Actually, I could
say
have him run up the stairs.
let's say that was the way they had implemented. I don't know. I don't know how they implemented it. I don't work for Instacart, so I don't know. But let's say that was the way they implemented it. Would it have been okay then? The reason I'm
So
asking,
they're
right?
discriminating. They're discriminating against me and giving me an added benefit because I'm poor.
No, but what I'm saying is like
But it still looked expensive
how
to me.
no, listen, I just want to ask a question just as a thought experiment,
Okay.
right?
Thought experiment. I'm listening.
So let's say the same thing was being said about taxes.
Okay. Here's the thing. Before you try to rope a
No, no,
double
no, no.
D.
I'm not trying to
Wait,
roll
no,
about.
no, no, wait.
I
Time
don't
out.
have an
Time out.
opinion. I don't have an opinion
Time
on
out.
this.
Time
You
out.
hear me? Because
One
like
one is
I
food.
think I am not smart enough to get any of that stuff right. I'm just throwing out a thought experiment. I
Okay,
am not
so
smart enough to answer this
here's
question.
my thought. Here's
Mm,
my thought. As a consumer, the food was still too blasted expensive. So if it
mm.
was even more expensive for the rich guy, we both getting robbed. So they needed to have a medium. In taxes, there's no
But
real medium. There's
but
just
but but again, what if what's happening is Instacart is kind of like, hey, this person is poor, so instead of making tons of money off of this person, let me make more money off of this person that's richer
okay.
to
So let me.
compensate for the person. Just a
So
thought experiment.
no. I'm not getting upset about it.
Mm,
We just talking.
mm.
But all
No,
right.
because the
So
glasses might come off again, you
no.
know?
So Instacart,
Mhm,
Instacart basically said they were testing dynamic pricings to see how far somebody would pay for an item and willing to pay for an item
mm,
versus
Yes.
what happens. Instacart and a lot of these apps, I've seen it myself. One week I put some stuff in the cart. Next week it's still in the cart. Next week they say all them stuff is on sale. They'll tell you 13 of your items that you bought was on sale.
mhm,
And then you go in there and you buy it. Yes, I agree. Maybe they were maybe it's based on what I can pay
mhm,
or what you can pay. But the fact is we don't know. And I know
Mhm.
this thing goes on for a long time because if I go into the supermarket,
mhm.
sometimes things are lower than what I see on the app. But
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
what I'm really paying for if I'm unable to it, is convenience.
Yeah,
You know,
that's also something that's different there.
that's also something that's different. So
And like,
I can understand their marketing,
mm,
but I know somebody was gonna set them up because we got these watchdog mamas out here.
mm.
Oh, let me see how much you paid for a store. You talk about a thought experiment. They would have had all three of us go there. They should have been linked to my bank account. Jay, everything for you is free today. That's what they would have said. Jay,
But
everything is free. You
but
know what I'm
with
saying?
that dynamic pricing, right, where they're checking to see how much people are willing to pay for stuff, I feel like every company kind of does that. They just don't say it like that, right?
It's
Because
because they got
when you
caught. That's the only reason why they
yeah,
said
that
it.
I feel like, hey, people are making a big deal out of it because when you ever go shop for something on like Amazon, and like you're like, one day it's like $28. Like I'm looking at kids gifts, and as soon as Christmas comes around, obviously supply starts to dwindle. And what happens then? They increase the price. But when they increase the price, they notice that things start to cool off. What do? They reduce the price. So they're constantly checking to see how much you're willing to pay for something anyway. And that, like, the same thing happens in just local stores. Like, I went to a toy store before, like, around, like, I bought my kids gifts around like August. And then I went back to go to a toy store to go look for more gifts around this time, just to fill out under the Christmas tree so that my kids don't feel like dad is cheap.
I could
And
I could tell you
like
how to
all of
do
a
that.
sudden things are more expensive. I feel like they're constantly testing to see why how much people are willing to pay. I think someone just noticed it more explicitly in Instacart scenario, and immediately it became something that blew up. It became something that blew up. I, I
So it's because
I
they got
think.
caught, but let's be honest. I mean,
Mm,
we're all fairly intelligent here by
mm,
school standards and stuff, you know, and other standards too,
mm,
right? It is hard for them to measure pricing now because they can't really see how many people are walking through the store. So
mhm,
they got to do stuff. Oh, this thing is not selling. Why is it not selling? Because nobody's seeing it. I know for myself, if I'm uh Instacart shopper,
mhm,
I know for myself that when I go into the store, I spend more
mhm,
theoretically than when I order because I have my list ready, whether it's a Walmart or whatever. I got my list and everything ready, and I'm not picking up anything extra. So you got to be good at selling me extras. You saw the gummy bears. Maybe this
yeah.
guy like gummy bears. Maybe he want a little pound cake.
You
You know,
just
you for
you
us at a
just
certain age, you got to
described
sell us memories and
why I
some.
never go shopping with like any of my family members in Stenosa, because when I shop, I go to the store and like I have a list of things I'm looking for, and I spend my time looking at the actual signs. Yeah, that's where it is. Okay, walk over there, go down this aisle, grab it. Okay, look for the next thing, look at the signs, walk over there, go over there. And so my family, when we go into the store, they're like, "Oh, look at this. This is on sale. Oh, look at this. Hey, wait, I think I also need that. Hey, do you know if that's actually?" I'm like, "Nah, I have a list. I don't need any of that other stuff."
Yeah, but listing an organization is a very is
Yeah,
a
but you have to
very
have the blinders on, my friend. You have
you
to be
have to
like
have
a
the
horse. You have
blinders
to have the
Just
on,
like that
blinders on.
peregrine falcon, Jay.
just like the Peregrine Falcon. Now, back to what we were so anybody out there, listen, do your extreme couponing, do everything you need to do to keep the discount. And don't be like me when you saw that Home Alone price. You had to pause the whole show. Something you might have saw 5 times before because guess what? When you grow up and you be an adult, if you're a little kid, you start worrying about these bills.
Mm,
$20 used to be golden. $5 used to be golden. $50 used to be golden. Now $200 seem like $20.
Hmm.
That's that's all we saying. Again, and again, Oracle. We're not giving financial advice, but we trying to
yeah.
survive out here.
Yep. I
Hmm.
remember when I was a kid, I used to get $10 for allowance. And we used to be fine.
Hmm.
ten
Now
dollars
your kid is handing you back the $10 if you're giving them $10.
Yeah,
That's it.
you can't hand a kid $10. Dude, when I remember we used to pay 60 cents a guilder or 60 cents for a drink. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember those days?
50
Yep.
cent sodas.
60,
I
yeah.
still
60
don't
cents
remember how
for
I.
drinks, and that was drinks we used to import from America.
Mm-hmm.
60 cents. Have you ever been to look at the drink, like let's see how much it costs when you go to with your credit card to these vending machines now,
It's like a
and
dollar
you're
fifty
like,
for a Coke.
it's
Wait,
like, hey,
the fact that the vending machine got a credit card reader
yeah,
isn't
because
Mm-hmm.
now
funny.
you're paying for the credit card fees too. So on top
Mm-hmm.
of the fact that inflation is murdering you, you gotta pay for those people to make profit over the fees the credit card company is charging them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people, every now and then, you got to get a good laugh. And that's why we switch into the GOAT or one of the GOATs in the GOAT Islands of Dave Chappelle. Now, I'm a big Dave
I heard a
Chappelle.
rumor about him.
You heard a rumor
What's the
about
rumor that you heard?
what's the
He's
rumor?
rich, biatch.
That he is. That he is.
Looks all rich in the back there. Look at him.
Yeah.
He looks like he's New York's finest, the
He's
top one
unstoppable.
percenter.
He said he's the top 1%er of Ohio.
Ohio, where he lives, yeah.
Mm.
He says he's so rich. I like the
So
sideways picture of this dude.
yeah. So Oracle, so like we were saying, right during the whole broadcast of the fight, Dave comes up and he says, "Oh, I filmed a special in Washington, D.C., and it's gonna come out right after the fight." When he said that, like the fight got more amped for us because we were like, "Yo, we watching this." Fast forward, and that's why I was complaining that Anthony Joshua was literally taking pictures of everyone in the crowd because they're like, "Get off the screen so we can get to the Dave Chappelle special." Dave Chappelle special came on. The special is called The Unstoppable. Okay, that's
Mm.
not the full title. A couple weeks ago, could even be a couple months ago now, Jay talked about Jack Johnson, especially with the Diddy trial. Jay was saying that what Jack Johnson, the Mann Act that they came up with Jack Johnson, and Dave Chappelle brought that up in the special. And we were like, yo, if more people would just watch me and two randos, they'd be up to date on all of this stuff. But
And,
Jay,
and forgive me because
mhm,
sometimes I don't want to go too deep into it because
mhm,
it's supposed to be a fun loving show.
yeah,
But what Dave, so let me say, Dave is a funny guy,
mhm,
and Dave should have a special call while I got your attention, while you're looking at me. He always gives a history lesson. We may
mhm,
not understand the history lesson because, like he said in this last special, you got to be negative to get engagement,
mhm,
right? So a lot of people went after him for his views on the other shows. You could watch his views, but in the middle of that, or towards the end, he always gives you a history lesson. So in this one, he says it's more free speech to talk in Saudi Arabia than it is in
mhm.
America. He got paid to go over there. Oh, and he went after Bill Maher. I never seen Dave Chappelle really call shots. He's like, I'm tired of Bill Maher. Screw him. You know what I'm saying? You know, he said it worse than that, but
Yeah,
for the kick
exactly.
out.
Because we've been holding back because the full name of the special is not just The Unstoppable. There's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
to it. But
So,
continue.
so in this story, he's not approving what Diddy may or may not have done.
Mhm,
He was pointing out that Diddy didn't get charged for the stuff that he was being that he done.
That he was
Yeah,
indicted for?
yeah, that he was indicted for. Like
Wait.
basically, once you saw the clip, and we're not approving domestic violence. Once you saw the
Mm.
clip of him,
mhm,
doing what he did to Cassie, you know this guy's going to jail for something.
mhm,
He guilty for something, but he ain't guilty for what he was getting charged about.
mhm,
This guy goes on, and you can watch it because he explains it better than us. He goes on and tells about the Mann Act, where basically a law is basically made up
mhm,
to get somebody they want in jail on some kind of something. So for the Mann Act, they had taken a woman across state lines. Taking a woman across state lines. They didn't say nothing about no kidnapping, just taking a
mhm,
woman across state lines. Now, in the Jack Johnson thing, this is around 1910, 19,
Mhm.
in these early 1900s. So you could imagine what the racial climate was.
So,
Jack Johnson was
sorry,
dating.
just to be clear, not legal experts, but could you
Uh,
quickly explain what the across state lines thing is?
That's what he was
Because
about to do, yeah.
oh, sorry. Okay.
I was about to do that,
Mhm.
but thank you, Oracle. See, because you saw the future. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the
But
short
I'm
term.
making sure everyone is aware,
Yeah, yeah.
not legal
So,
experts.
Mhm.
so, so it was taking a woman across state lines.
Mhm.
It doesn't really say against her will. Just saying
Mhm.
a man taking a woman across state
But it's
lines.
called the
Now,
Man Act because the
the
person who
guy
bought
who
it, his
made it
last
was
name
a
was
man.
Man. It's not because
Man,
of a
yeah.
man.
Not because of a man.
Yeah.
However, I'm telling you it loosely
Mhm.
because there's all kinds of legalese that go into this
Mhm.
thing. But the one you're gonna know is that this guy was black in the
Mhm.
early 1900s, walking around with a white woman,
Mhm.
right? And I've heard in the past that Jack Johnson is King Kong, and that's what King Kong was based on,
Mhm.
right? However, the point Dave Chappelle was making was Jack Johnson didn't care. He did what he wanted to do. And when they did the act, he fled the country. Then he came back. He died. And he said, I gave it up all for my pleasure, for pursuit of pleasure, for
Mhm.
his own freedom. And what he was saying loosely, he was also defending Diddy.
Mhm.
He was like, Diddy did a lot of things. And in hindsight, he even joked about, yeah, Diddy a little weird. He'd be actually like, what you into is circling the
What
bottom.
you into?
What you into? But no, I wasn't into nothing. I went through Diddy's house. He even said, Diddy, you could track through Diddy's house. It wasn't very slippery. He
It
even
wasn't
said
slippery.
that. A matter of fact, Dave says he was in the Hollywood Bowl.
Mhm.
And when he was being attacked, his bodyguards couldn't save him. They slipped on something and fell down.
Mhm.
Diddy
Yeah.
was right there. Super.
And yeah, Diddy was the first person to tackle
Because
his attacker.
Diddy got boys' powers. When I say boys, the boys' powers. That's what
Mm.
Diddy got. Super lubricated. Boom. He's
But
like, don't worry about
you
it.
know,
However, to close this out,
mm,
again, it was a funny show, but I always like when Dave Chappelle talks because even though he's there to make you laugh, he somewhat educates you. He says,
mm,
yo, I'm not going into the Charlie Kirk thing or stuff, but he educates you about certain things. And if you actually follow the pattern of what he's
mm,
trying to teach you, and then you actually do some real Googling, not always AI, some real Googling and some real research, you'll find out that he's like, yo, they could come and get you if they want to get you. That and make sure you pay your taxes. Because you know the tax man will always get death is definitely gonna get you. And the tax man right behind your ass will be like, you made how
Yeah.
much?
Wesley Snipes didn't pay attention to that.
Yep. Wesley Snipes. Who's the other? What's the girl from the Fugees? Come on, why am I forgetting her name?
The girl
um,
from the Fugees, Lauren Hill.
Lauren Hill didn't pay attention. You know who paid attention to the tax one? Shakira, man. Her hips never lied. When they put up them charges, she brought that money. She said, "Yo," she brought it for all the countries. She said, "Nah, I won't go to jail. Here's the money." She's like, "I didn't even know I didn't pay the best part about Shakira is the fact that she had the money to give it to them. Because
Mhm.
most times when they come after you, whether they come after Dionne Warwick, Lauren Hill,
you ain't got the
somewhat
money.
Wesley Snipes, they don't have the
So
money to give it.
Wes, leave Wesley alone, man.
No, no, I love Wesley. A matter
Wesley,
of fact, Wesley,
don't you
you're my
know?
only blade.
Don't you
You're
know
my only blade.
Wesley is red. He might come after us.
Yeah, listen, if he wants to put me in this next Blade movie, I'm all with it. You know, you know what I want? One of those scenes where they cut the head off and you see me smiling just like that. I'd be like,
but
man, I was just here to have fun. Just
so I was just reading up on the man. Did you know the Man Act was like from 1910?
that's what we just
He
said.
just said that. He just
The
said
Mann Act was from 1910.
that.
Hmm.
I didn't want to get into it. I didn't want to get in. See, that's what I'm saying. When you get into these law things, because I'm not trying to get into the politics thing.
No,
Politics
but it's
wrong, they
just
got
like
nothing.
the mentality that the people were thinking back then, because back then it was referred to as the White Slave Act.
Yes, but
Yes.
they couldn't name it that. So they named it after the person who created the act,
Who
which whose
sponsored
last
it? Yeah.
yeah, and his
All
last
right.
name was Mann, and that's what's called the
So
Mann Act.
so so basically, they you know that um Virginia versus Love, like interracial marriage,
Mhm,
Mm.
right? Wasn't approved until like late 1950s. And the only reason it was approved, in my opinion, is that the guy who was filing for it was a white man marrying a black woman. I think if
mhm.
that was reversed, they would have still been fighting.
Yeah.
The
But the truth is, the
1950s. Like, think
yeah,
about it. Like, some of our parents were like alive
alive.
and kicking then.
Mhm,
Well, so now you're gonna make me go into the whole thing, even this political climate. The whole thing is that a lot of these laws wasn't implemented even 100 years ago.
mhm,
You understand? Me, who understands accessibility issues and stuff, disability law wasn't until 1990.
mhm,
So some of these laws and some of these things that within 20 years we go, oh, we almost forget about it. I think to make this to show you a good reference that we always talk about sometimes, it's like it and Pennywise. Pennywise comes back every
Um,
27 years.
mhm.
That's how I think how long it takes to wipe somebody's memory of like what people have accomplished. That's what
so
one, two generations.
just to be clear though, the Rehabilitation Act was actually
No,
1970s.
disability.
No, no, no,
Disabilities.
no. So
Which one?
the original disability law that was put on the books was the Rehabilitation Act. Because what happened was lots of veterans that went to war came back disabled.
Mhm,
And so they had to rehabilitate them to re-enter society. And that's when they introduced the first disability laws in like in America in 1973 or 4 ish. So
Yeah.
I sorry, I know that the reason I know that is because like that's like that's part of my profession.
mhm,
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like that
yeah,
was the original one, and to this day, it's the reason why like website why if you have a disability and you can't use a website, that is the law that you use
that
to
it was
sue
based on.
people. Yeah,
But
it's all based on that.
but
It's in section 5, I think 501 through 508, where
oh
yeah,
oh
of
no
the
no
Rehabilitation Act. Yeah, sorry,
I
go ahead.
agree with you. I
Mm,
mean that was the stepping stone, but the
yeah,
act I was talking about was the 1990s one where when you're born with it and stuff.
the one
Not
that started
because
in California.
yeah, not the reason that like again it's that type of disability like becoming it
Yeah.
versus being born with it.
Mm.
I'm more talking about the 1990s one, but again we need a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Another one that's very interesting we talked about last week was closed captioning, for example. Closed captioning was proposed in like 1976 somewhere. Didn't get fully ratified till 1980.
But you have
And
to
United
ask what it was for originally.
Well, closed captioning was for like, you put the stuff on mute. We use it all the time and they still can't understand what the hell we said. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
You put stuff on mute, you put your TV on mute. In
Mm.
2006, United States was the first country to make it mandatory with the few exceptions that every station should have closed
Mm.
captioning. But, that brings up another argument about universal use and accessibility. Like some of this stuff, once it's available, it
Mm.
becomes universal. And you
Yeah.
mhm.
don't even know why the hell we have closed captioning? Not to watch videos at work, but we have closed captioning
Yeah,
because
yeah, we do. But the same thing, like to be clear, right? You'd be surprised at how things we use every day that came out because of people with disabilities.
yeah.
Records were originally like the original records were the way how they kept the records of Congress to um to, for so that people who were blind could actually listen to them. That's where we got records from. I think that's actually why they call them records.
Mhm,
And that was invented, and we use it to listen to music all throughout and the technology hasn't changed much because CDs are basically reading bumps in the in the
mhm,
thing in the same way. It's digital, so it's not
mhm,
analog like records, but like the original record was a tool for people with disability. Pinch to zoom, which was originally invented by Xerox and made popular by Apple, was for people with disabilities. Swipe on the
pinch the
keyboard,
zoom.
pinch to zoom,
Yeah, to make things bigger and
to make
smaller.
things bigger and smaller. Swipe for the keyboard, the keyboard where you use your thumb and you swipe and it writes out words. That was originally implemented to allow you to use eye tracking to look at where the letters are. And someone was like, "Hey, this thing is working well. I wonder if I can make this work with a thumb." And boom,
Mhm,
that's how you got the swipe keyboards. But it
mhm.
was originally for people who were quadriplegic and they could only like move their eyes, and they looked at they were trying to find a way to allow them to use technology.
Mhm.
And
To lose technology. And
yeah.
again, what we're saying here is
Mm.
all these things should be explored because it makes everybody better.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the whole premise of universal design, right?
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
again, in true Rando fashion, you didn't think we were going here. We started with Jake Paul, a comedian, a
Well,
guy
he
who's a
he
good
he he,
promoter.
he after that fight, he may need some of those tools in the future, because I'm pretty sure body parts on him was broken.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and he could afford it. I didn't
Mm.
like that he said he was out of Puerto Rico though when he was fighting by way of
By way
Cleveland.
of Puerto Rico,
I'm like, what are
of
you talking
Ohio,
about?
by way of Ohio, from Puerto
Anyway,
Rico.
anyway, I know we just had some interesting stuff, but one
Mm.
more thing about Logan Paul, or being Jake Paul, he need to go with his brother Logan Paul. You know, go do some wrestling, go do some fantasy stuff.
Mhm.
Actually, he need to go talk to Diddy too, because Diddy was a good promoter. I never thought he was a good rapper. He was always a good promoter. And they all need to get together.
Wait. Which thing was Diddy promoting?
He
Everything.
promote everything.
He's a marketer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
I mean,
was a
he
mark.
said in his songs.
He was a marketer. He was a
He doesn't write
marketer.
lyrics, he writes checks. Come
Yeah,
on, son.
he was a marketer that like was desperate for the spotlight. Like if he just
Mhm,
stayed marketing, nobody would have known him.
mhm,
But like that other, well, let me not say that. That other person that used to run Death Row Records.
mhm.
If you don't want people up in your videos, that's what he was doing. He's
Dancing.
up in, dancing in your videos. I don't need to dance. That's because he couldn't dance. No offense, Jake Man. I saw the
Mhm.
way you fainted when you got that jail sentence. That showed you had no moves because you went down solid. But anyway, whatever it is, whatever it is, I say plug this guy, watch it. He has some
It
interesting
is a
stuff.
very divisive special. Like he says more, like he's like, I don't care anymore. I'm saying it. And he said shit in this special. And I was like, yo, he's never been this blunt about stuff. Or he has been to a certain degree, but this episode, he just, like Jay said, he just went straight out and said he can't stand Bill Maher. Just went straight. He's
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
don't care anymore.
He went. So first of all,
Mhm,
let's show you how this guy, comedian, is a cerebral assassin. And
mhm,
yes, I have broke ways professionally. I've broke ways with WWE. So the vein, you know what I'm talking about.
mhm.
McFoley, yep.
Mick,
So, but let me
mhm.
tell you why this guy's a cerebral assassin and shooting fires. His special took place where? Washington,
Washington,
D.C.
D.C.
Yes, it's his hometown, but you know who else is also in Washington, D.C.? We don't have to say anything else. He's shooting shots right in the middle of this show, and nobody's saying anything. People are laughing. And then when he's ready to talk, he's like, yo, he started talking about FBI surveillance. The lights is up. Everybody knows being surveilled.
Mhm. And that's something that the gay and the LGBTQ community had to go through as well in the 70s with the disco lights. So depending on when they were under surveillance, depending if they were in trouble, the lights would flash different in the nightclubs and flash on the disco balls. And only the people that were in the know knew what the codes were. So
Yep.
when he said that in the special, I was like, yo, that's a lot of information. But he was talking about the hip hop police and when they started following Diddy and Notorious Big and stuff like that. So they
Because they
had their
couldn't.
own lights, but it's all that
Because
came from that. Mhm,
because one of the things that people I'm not defending Diddy or anything, but one of the
mhm,
things they don't know is when the FBI was investigating them, they said there's no way they could be making any money off of records and real deals.
mhm,
They have to be
mhm,
doing some undercurrent crap.
mhm,
They're meeting people and they're not doing any drug dealing.
mhm.
They got to be doing something. So they knew, and like he said, they knew what Diddy was doing years. And just, hey, we're getting enough information till we could get you. You know, kind of taking the 50 Cent mark.
I was not gonna say that. They were working like 50 Cent.
Working like 50 Cent. Because what I also like, even though people aren't defending Diddy 100%, I also like that people come out and say, hey, let me tell you what really happened in this documentary. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you what those things lined up was really like. I appreciate it. Because guess what? I learned about the West Coast, East Coast on VH1 about the 90s. Remember when VH1 used to be a thing? And they used to have this whole decade show? That was a great thing. I learned about the 80s and the 90s. And supposedly I lived it, but then I learned a little bit more.
Supposedly I lived it.
Supposedly I lived it, 80s.
You didn't 90s. Live it, you young.
Yeah, man. I lived it. I was like, yo, this all happened. Because I wasn't, we weren't listening to no hip hop in some of these old houses with these old Caribbean people.
Oh, you know.
Cal, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at Dave. I'm looking at you. Are you guys twins?
No.
I mean, with the bald headed. Oh, you talking about him? Oh yeah, that does look like
him. It does look like him, but also I was trying to make a reference.
No, but it does. That
you guys twins.
That does look like how.
Nah, man. We cousins.
We cousins. Yeah.
We cousins. I like when he said that.
Dude, he said so smooth. I was like, that's awesome. Nah, man. We cousins.
We cousins. But cousins be looking alike though.
Yeah, like Dave Chappelle is Khalil's cousin. Can't you see it? Look at the picture.
And I know we abruptly jump from things today. We're trying to work on our suggestions. So in our comments,
no, we not. We have never had a meeting. Hey, let's go off of this.
I'm always trying.
We always write stuff down and go like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about, and then at the end of the show,
you don't ever write nothing down.
Sorry. Okay. You and SS write things down.
I wake up
then I come early in the morning. Sorry, late.
Thank you again. Thank you. You're the only one that's always the latest.
So for everyone who doesn't know, I am the slacker. I'm along for the ride here. I am the slacker, but like he and Jay writes things down, and then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna talk about this, but first, this just popped into my head," and then we end up not talking about anything, and then in the end, we're like, "Shoot, we should talk about this because now that's old news, and we can't talk about it anymore."
No. So that's what like show development is, right? Like it's funny. We all do the the podcast. We've been doing it for like what? Under 17, 18 episodes or whatever.
No, this should be episode like 31 or 32 now.
Oh, so in my mind, it's been so much fun. So it's 32.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're doing something where you're having fun, like time flies by. Like it's like, didn't we start this last week?
So that should show you. Back to Jake Paul. Time wasn't flying by. It was only 3 fights. It was 4 hours for no goddamn reason. Speed that shit up or fix it like wrestling. Because that shit, as soon as Dave Chappelle said he had a special to drop, they could, you know what? They should have done it. They should have done it. They should have said, oh, the Dave Chappelle is coming out now. It's available now.
And what happened? You remember when the lady said that? She goes, Dave Chappelle special is out now. And all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute. Oh, we don't have to continue watching this whole thing. We can just switch to that. Immediately we turned off the fight and went looking for the Dave Chappelle special, and it wasn't up yet. I was like, this is such crap. We didn't searching for the Dave Chappelle special and then had to go back to the fight to wait for it to finish.
Cal, be careful. The glasses might come off.
That's what I was
I'm talking about your glasses, dude. To the people. Be careful. Because you're like swinging your hands around, you might knock your glasses off.
I know that I'm supposed to stop talking about wrestling, but that would have been a Mick Foley moment. So on WCW, they announced, because Raw was taped and WCW was live on Mondays, they announced a mid-carder in their federation is about to win the world title. He's known as Mick Foley, otherwise as Cactus Jack, because the guy, Eric Bischoff, would read off WWE results so they wouldn't have to switch the channel. He goes, oh, it's about to hit 9 o'clock. So like 8:55 or something, he would go. Here's the results, so you don't got to switch channels. This person wins. This person wins. This person. Oh, and a mid carder in our wrestling
That is
organization.
actually smart.
Yeah, he thought it was smart, but he said Mick Foley was going to win. Mick Foley, if you look at his body, this is an average Joe. This is me coming off. This is me coming off the couch, right? But people so in love with Mick Foley and his character, they switched the channel. That would have guaranteedly happened if Dave Chappelle, I'm saying it right now, if they said Dave Chappelle was on, just like what SS said a few minutes ago, I would have switched and watched Dave Chappelle. And for the record, folks, anybody who knows me, I'm not a stand-up comedian guy.
I am.
But that match, them, other than the Baumgartner, Layla versus Alicia. Other than that match, the rest of them could have went to sleep. You know what? And
you know that I've also seen that happen quite a bit in boxing matches as well, where like the opening matches end up being more exciting than the actual heavyweight match.
So the reason so now we're going into sports.
Oh, sorry, no.
Hold on.
My bad.
Real quick. The reason why MMA has been so good is you know everybody on the card, or you think everybody on the card is a good fighter, so the cards are better. In boxing, you gotta wait 4 hours for the main event, and you barely didn't even know who the hell was on the damn card. I will give it up to Jake Paul and MVP. You know who's on the card. You kind of have a moniker of interest. But when they dropped that little surprise right after this thing, they would have saw the ratings fall. They would have said, "What happened? Are we losing internet connection? Do we have a server down in Alaska or something? Like, what the hell's happening?"
You know what? I didn't even think of that. That's actually a kind of a interesting take. You think maybe they actually really did do that? Like just not say anything?
Yeah, it was a surprise.
The Dave Chappelle special was announced during before the
That's actually pretty smart
fight.
because then because that might have taken like velocity away from the actual match. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of that perspective. That's interesting.
They did it. They knew people were getting tired. They probably saw the thing blinking and they're like, "Yo, we got it uploaded already." Dave, you here? Dave said, "Yo, we got another 50K, man. I was just having a cigarette, about to go sleep." He said he had what he said in the special, he had the Bill Cosby back.
Yeah. He said, "I need a drink," and he'd take a sip of the drink. Go, "This is the Bill Cosby."
He's like, "This is a Bill Cosby."
So now I gotta hurry
because he don't got enough time. Only Dave could pull that off.
Yeah.
And another thing he did in this special, real quick, going back and forth, he had the stage in the center, so people was around him, or at least three sides.
Sorry, you just actually spiked my interest. Like I don't remember, like. Let me just look it up. Go continue.
What were you going to mention?
No, I think he's talking about the Bill Cosby thing.
No. It just occurred to me that like I just stopped paying attention to the Bill Cosby thing, but like he was let out of prison, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. I know. But like, wasn't there more controversy about him after?
Oh no, statute of limitation. So real quick, again, I'm not a lawyer, but real quick, what happened was he got let out on some technicalities because the prosecution promised him certain things in the deal that he didn't get, which is kind of ironic because it goes along with what this guy said. When they out to get you, they out to get you. But since not defending Bill, but since Bill had some real money stored up, he had 2-3 years to fight. He got out, and then they tried to find a new case against him. And whatever.
For some reason, they did try to find a new case against him.
Yeah, and more people complain.
That's why because like I thought I heard something about how like he's back at it again. Or like back in court again, but like I didn't follow through and find out what happened afterwards.
I think most of his court drama now is civil. I don't know if he has any criminal stuff.
Okay.
But again, a wizardry like him. Don't
Mm.
forget Bill Cosby, because that's the reason he's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, Eddie. He even talked about another comedian that I didn't know that was
Wait,
supposed to
I
be.
which
knew that
Eddie?
guy.
Is
That's the
it?
thing. I
Is
remember
it
that guy.
which Eddie are you talking about? Is it
When you say Eddie,
crazy?
when you
Is it
say Eddie,
Crazy Eye
what?
Eddie
No.
or
When you
Eddie?
let me
What
tell
have
you,
you
let me
done
tell you.
for me
When you say
lately?
Eddie,
Which
unless you
Eddie?
know Crazy Eddie from the store that used to be Crazy Eddie, that was so crazy, he was giving away TVs for like 20. Oh my God, it hurt me. He was giving 2 TVs for $20.
No, sorry. I don't know. I don't know if anyone shares this opinion, but like I used to love the other Eddie as well, um, uh, Eddie Griffin.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I was
I
like, who the
forgot
hell
about
is the
that.
other Eddie? See, that's so sad. That's so sad. That should be a
Oh,
trivia question. Yo,
Hmm.
what's the other comedian other
Yeah,
than Eddie?
he's wild. What do you mean? Eddie Griffin is wild-eyed Eddie. You ever
No,
see
you
his man
got
face
no.
when he tells a joke? My eyes get like this big.
Yeah, no, Eddie Griffin. I found him funny too.
Yeah.
He was a guy I didn't truly understand. I'll be honest, because SS watched them. Because some comedians I could watch it, I'll be like, that stuff ain't funny. But when
mm,
Dave be hitting up some of them jokes,
mhm. Jay, one of your favorite people in the world is a massive Eddie Griffin fan. So his favorite, are you gonna get to name him? His number one comedian, Bernie Mac.
oh,
That's
His
because
number
Bernie
two
Mac
comedian is Eddie
is
Griffin.
that's our famous friend Cirque. Cirque.
Sergio, yeah. He loves
Yo.
Bernie Mac, loves Eddie Griffin, yeah.
nah,
Now people
Bernie Mac was fire.
Mhm.
If you understood what he said, Bernie Mac was fire.
no, when he did no, the best part is when he about to whip your ass and you don't understand what you said. Everybody know that's the age old way to get a beat. But
I
what the
with
hell
them
they saying
kids.
that you
What do you mean? I live with them kids.
it'd be
You
all
better
right.
beat those kids. Bernie
All right.
Mac used to kill me.
We're gonna end it here for this week, guys. Do you think we should
Yeah,
have a next week
actually,
episode or take a
but
break for holidays?
No, we
it's
taking a
pretty
break.
close. But if we take a break, okay, yeah, we can take a break.
We take a break or
But
have
what
one
I
in the
would
week.
like to know is from our viewers, which Eddie is their favorite Eddie?
Everybody know that, man. Our viewer, our
What kind
demographic,
of question is
yeah, no,
that?
Eddie Murphy, man. Don't be trying to embarrass Eddie Griffin on here because he might want to see me
Dude,
one.
listen. As Khalil pointed out, there is at least one person out there that thinks Eddie number one is better than Eddie number two. I think Wild-Eyed
Listen.
Eddie
I
is
could.
better than.
We can name 6 movies right now. We can
Mhm.
close our eyes,
Mhm,
and that Eddie's gonna be Eddie Murphy.
mhm,
No, like, listen, dude, Eddie Murphy is the bomb. Like,
mhm,
Eddie Murphy, like, I grew up on Eddie Murphy's comedy, him with the
mhm,
red jacket and everything. Like, I grew up on that. Like, I love Eddie Murphy. But, like,
mhm,
I feel like Eddie Griffin was somewhat underrated. I don't think he was as good as Eddie Murphy, but like I
mhm,
think he was quite a bit
I think.
underrated.
I think. I think sometimes their brand of jokes,
Mm,
they're funny. Like
mm,
he's funny. Eddie Griffin is funny in his own right,
mm.
but he ain't
You
no.
guys know he's still around, right?
Yeah, I know he's still around,
Yeah.
but around where?
Wait,
Here,
why would?
he has a podcast like we do.
Oh, cool.
I
He
mean, I
talks
mean, I
about
mean,
stuff every week.
Yeah, I
no,
love
I
Eddie,
mean,
but yeah, but everyone has a podcast where you talk about stuff every week. Doesn't Cat William also have one?
I
yeah,
don't think Cat has a podcast. Cat appears on people's podcasts, but Eddie Griffin
yeah.
has his
Oh,
own podcast.
And remember Club Shay Shay, man. That was the best podcast because what you call it was he was trying to play your role, Oracle. Cat Williams was being an oracle for what was coming for the year.
Hmm.
dude, one of my favorite things. I loved it so much that like in my youths, I actually bought it, and I still have it on CD now. I think Eddie Griffin did. Wait, weren't we leaving? Eddie
You're the
Griffin.
one that gets
I'm sorry. No, Eddie Griffin did this show called Voodoo Child.
Mhm.
And dude, that was like one of my favorite things ever. I love that show. That
It
thing he
feels
did.
to me that Oracle is the EG fan here. I'm saying the undisputed, the
I'm saying
underbelted champion.
I can be a
If
fan of
if
more than one Eddie.
if Richard Pryor is not in this
Hey,
conversation,
look.
and Bill Cosby
Richard,
for what he did comedically, If those two are not there, the third GOAT on the island is Eddie. Again, notice how many.
I'm not disputing that at all. I like both Eddies. I like
Why are
Eddie
you defending
Murphy
Eddie
more.
Griffin? You know what?
Because
Hashtag
he
Griffin.
is underrated.
Hashtag Eddie
No one
Griffin.
likes talking about the
Hashtag.
big dog. Everyone likes talking about the underdog.
But you're talking about the super underdog. Don't get me wrong, Eddie. Don't get me wrong. Eddie Griffin, you had
Listen,
you had
listen.
the
You better be
YouTube
careful
show.
because all of a sudden the fourth window's going to open up and you're going to see Eddie Griffin like, "What
Listen,
you got to
listen,
say
listen,
now?"
listen. Me and EG is good ever since he came up with the pyramid stuff. Ever since he had that pyramid joke, me and EG is good. I love EG. He worked with my man, God rest his soul, Malcolm Jamal Warner. I didn't really like UPN, but I like their show. Again, you see how many Cosby and comical connections there are?
There are lots of connections.
And the interaction, the tissues of comedians.
But to be clear, in between all of the nonsense, I won't say nonsense because like if this man if he treated women wrong, then like he deserved what he got. But like nobody can dispute that that lots of things that they grew up with, they learned from Eddie Murphy, and I'm assuming that
Wait,
he was.
hold on. Time out. Before we end this, let's clear up that message. You said it kind of wrong. Eddie didn't do nothing to the girl. He got married a lot. He had a lot of kids.
Oh no! What I'm saying, I was not. I was talking
I'm just making
about.
sure.
I was talking about Bill Cosby. Like he was really integrated into the community that he was in, and so like he good or bad, like he touched a lot of people along the way. Like like I know some people that still have like a reaction whenever they talk about things. We still use terms that we learned from the Cosby Show, like yeah,
We still watch actors from the Cosby Show.
yeah,
And they're still A plus. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Cosby.
yeah.
Eddie Murphy is the best
topic.
Eddie, so don't worry about it. EG, I love you too. You should come on our podcast, EG. Don't curse me out. Don't curse me out.
You guys should watch his
you are in
podcast.
trouble.
That's why I said it. He has a podcast. So you guys should watch his podcast before you say anything like that. Because we will definitely get deleted immediately. We do not have his star power. If he says any of those things, we're off the map immediately.
I am not like I love the man to death, but I am not inviting him to join the podcast. Speaking of Malcolm Jamal Warner,
no.
You know what that surprised me when he passed. What? That surprised me. Didn't Malcolm Jamal Warner pass?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear you mentioned Theo. Yes, Theo passed away.
So yeah, that caught me off guard because like when I was growing up, like Theo wasn't all that much older than me, and I was like, he looked healthy.
But and you know how he passed because of undertow.
Of what?
Undertow. He drowned.
Oh, is that what killed? Okay, I didn't
it
know.
Wasn't that he had like a disease or anything.
No. But it's just that it's just near. Like he was about that. Like it just always catches me off guard when someone roughly about my age range. It always catches me off guard when I hear people like that die because it's like shoot, like it's when you're young, like you feel invincible. But like now when you're old, you're like, oh, but wait, what's this? My pinky's hurting. Am I gonna die? And like hearing people in that age range, like it just hits harder. But anyway, like Kal-El was saying, it's about that time to go. Remember to leave a comment about your favorite Eddie. We'll see whether or not Jay is right. And peace out.
We're gonna take a poll. Who's the best Eddie? Poll in the comments.
I'll take the poll right now. I'll take the poll right now.
Dude, listen, you keep messing around until I tell you a fourth window's gonna pop up and Eddie Griffin's gonna hack into this and just be like, hey yo, why'd you say it to my face?
No, I'll tell you exactly what EG will say. He will say, you're right, he is the best Eddie, but at least you could have put in a couple of votes for me. And thank you. That's what he would say. Thank you. We know. Shit, I love EG's move.
You need to ask him, Eddie. What have you done for me lately, Eddie?
What he's done is sign off. All
Uh-huh.
right, bye.
Peace.